Tim, what's your topic?
My topic is fancy food. Last night, as the time of recording this, it was my girlfriend Gia's birthday. We decided to go out to this fancy French restaurant.
I was about to say rest in peace.
Oh, Wayne.
Yeah, called Jardinier. I'm not sure. Starts with J and ends with some vowels.
Franklin and like Fell.
Yeah, it's around there. It's on Bush Grove Street. Yeah. So it was there, and we walked by recently, and she was just like, "Oh, like we should go there. It's really nice." I'm like, "All right, cool." Booked that reservation that night. I was like, "I know what's up with this shit." We go there. It's just me, her sister, and her sister's boyfriend, and we walk in, and immediately I'm like, didn't even think about how fancy this place was.
Inspired by the opera, by the way. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was wearing a button-up shirt, so I lucked out there.
Yeah.
But I totally could have been wearing exactly this outfit, and
the Andy Cortez
would have been fine. But we realized it's San Francisco. There's nowhere in San Francisco that you have to dress up.
In San Francisco, you wear fancy shorts,
and you're
to a place like that.
You're kind of fine.
The way I explain it to my mom all the time, or anybody I'm with, right? I'm like, "Oh, I didn't dress up." I'm like, "No." Best thing about San Francisco is you can see a person and be like, they either own Facebook or they're a college student.
Absolutely.
No idea.
No one fucking knows. No one fucking cares. But I go in, and I was a little early, and the bartender hands me the menu to look at, and I very quickly realize,
big eyes,
I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna need some Googling, and I hope that when people come here, my group, that they are a little more well versed in this stuff, because I don't know what 90% of the words in this menu are.
Escargot.
Was it like a French one?
It was French, but then even a lot of the words, they're just fancy food
Foie
words.
Gras.
And so I guess my topic to you guys is, how often have you faced that in your
adult life
now? Do you still face that a lot? And how do you handle it?
Oh, I face it all the time, but I have my wife, and so she's always the one that takes me to the fancy restaurants. Whenever we have friends in town or whatever, she'll make the reservation for that. And then I'm just unabashed about it. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, whatever, who cares? But most of the restaurants, if you go to a good restaurant, they enjoy teaching you about the menu and what that is. But also,
then they just use words that you don't know anyway.
Potentially, but my wife does, so that's what. So if you ever want to borrow D for a night, you can, or you can phone a friend. She'll call you, and you'll be like, "What's seafoam?" And you're like, "Oh, it's this thing," you know.
Well, that's why you got the Google, you got the pocket computer for the most part.
But I feel like I
want images on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the fancy places, they don't fuck with the pictures.
Mm-hmm. They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Usually,
it's an issue, because then you Google it, and like trying to figure out what type of pasta is what.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's hard.
You Google that, and it's just like, what is this? So last night there was.
But I'm
this thing,
Italian. I don't even know what half the pastas
so
are out
frittata.
there.
Do you guys know what frittata?
Yeah, frittata. I know what frittata
is.
It's like a quiche.
Radicate it is the second evolution of it.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Isn't
Cuba.
it like?
Cuba.
Well, hold on. So you say it's like a quiche?
The frittata. Yeah.
I thought it was like. It's
a quiche without crust, basically.
I thought it was like a pizza in terms of like. It's
My point
corn.
is being proven in front of
You're
us.
right.
Yeah.
But why was the
eggs.
word impossible put in front of it last
Impossible
night?
frittata?
Impossible frittata.
Jesus
And
fucking.
I'm like, what the fuck, guys?
I hate fancy restaurants so much.
Now is this fancy or is hipster trendy?
No,
fancy.
like
Just making sure I'm making.
They're
I just
one
want
and
to
the
see.
same in the
Not
city.
hipster. Not hipster.
Jardinier
one of
is
my
not.
best friends, Nikki from back home.
Nikki.
She loves. She's an interior designer, so she's like very like her. She's way more fancy than I will ever be. So every time we go out to eat, like with friends, it's always just some bullshit place in Austin that I've never heard of, and it's like. It's not necessarily the money that I mean, I look at the meal, it's like, oh, fuck, $30, I guess. Like, I guess I'm going to spend $30 on this meal. But then it's just the words that I don't understand. So it is a constant Googling. Like, just give me a Coke.
Right.
Give me, like, some fucking shrimp or some meat. And 3, don't fuck with me. That's the rules. Those are the rules.
It's so true, though. I hate when we go to these places and it's like, I mean, the worst thing ever is when they have Pepsi, but like almost as bad is when it's like, can I get a Coke? And it's like, no, you can't get a Coke.
We don't have Coke.
Hey, we actually brew
boiling
our own,
fancy
natural
cola.
cane soda.
It's like, dude, guys,
soda. It's like,
stop.
there's no
But last
difference.
night I was looking and I got excited because on the dessert menu there was
Impossible
an ice cream
Coke.
sandwich, and I'm like, whoa, I'll take a fancy ice cream sandwich. I'm looking at it, it was $12, and like. On one hand, I'm like, fuck that, $12 for an ice cream sandwich. On the other hand, I'm like, what's a $12
gonna be a
ice cream
bomb-ass
sandwich look like?
Yeah, exactly.
But then I started looking through what's in it. I'm like, oh, these are all good things. These are all things I want to be involved. I forgot what they were. The one that I remember though, buckwheat.
Homegrown ice cream.
Can we just get that buckwheat away from anywhere?
That might not be bad though, tasting, because I imagine they'd use that in the actual like breaded part of the sandwich.
I don't know.
Buckwheat's good.
It upset me though. I didn't like that.
Did you order the sandwich?
I by the end of the meal, I didn't have enough room. It was an
that's
excellent meal. Highly.
Oh, it actually was a good meal.
I recommend.
What'd you
it.
get? What'd you get?
I got the hanger steak, which was not called hanger steak. It was called some bullshit.
Impossible
Like I
steak.
saw the word the Wagyu in there somewhere. The W-A-G-Y-U.
Yeah, Wagyu.
So I knew that had to do with steak, but I only knew that because of our prior experiences.
Sure.
So I'm starting to piece things together. It's like speaking another fucking language, right?
Well,
That's
also
part of
went
the
to
fun.
yeah, I
Going
was
through
gonna
and
say, you went
seeing
to a French
gnocchi,
restaurant
seeing
there.
something else in there. You figure out.
But a
what
lot of it
is.
wasn't French though.
That's true.
These were English words. These were, or I don't know what fuck words they were, but they weren't French. I think jardiniere is the only French thing about it. But then, so the real thing that upset me here is this confit. Confit. I get it. I don't fuck with it. I'm sorry. I'm scared of what's different. I admit it. Do you know what this confit is?
God no.
It's so good.
You're not gonna like it.
Oh man.
You're not gonna
What
like
is
that
it?
one
confit?
bit.
Yeah.
What is it, Nick? Please
Well,
explain.
the pad, it's like
in
duck
vivid
liver,
detail.
basically, right? They take the ducks, they feed them with nothing but butter, and then they'll make a pate out of the liver, and that becomes.
Wait, no, that's foie gras.
Is that foie gras?
That's foie gras.
What's confit?
It's like rendered fat.
Are you talking to your microphone?
Isn't it the thing where the ducks
Yeah.
throw up?
No.
No, that's
Foie gras.
foie gras, where you force feed them so much their liver expands and you get a pot.
And then it
pate out of
bursts
that.
just like 7. They
I
just
think
kick it in the side and it
that's what I'm
bursts.
talking about then.
That's foie gras.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the,
I think
the,
confit
these
might be
fucking
similar.
ducks throw up and you eat the throw up.
No, that's
No,
not
that
what
is
it
There's a
not.
silent
That is
T in
not
there
it.
somewhere.
That is not it. The ducks don't throw up. You're eating their
Somebody
liver.
explain this wrong to me.
Kevin,
You're eating their liver. You're not eating duck vomit. You're not eating duck vomit.
No, they don't vomit. They feed them. It's actually pretty terrible. They feed them foie gras is what you're thinking of. I don't know what confit is.
Prepared from the legs of the bird, the meat is salted and seasoned with herbs and slowly cooked, submerged in its own rendered fat.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
good.
that's
That
not
sounds
what
really
I'm
good.
talking
You
about.
used the rendered word,
Yeah, I
Kevin.
think-
Fuck yeah, dude.
You click on foie gras. It's right there, right? People also search for over to the right. You're going the opposite
pictures,
down. There it is,
Yeah.
foie gras.
Which is just pate. So foie gras, it's you shove
Liver of a duck.
You shove food into the duck till it can't you
Yeah, you
put a
over
pipe in its mouth
literally. Yeah,
and
exactly.
literally push food into its mouth.
So it suffocates?
So click on the Wikipedia.
food?
No, you
It's
keep them
just-
and you don't let them move around, and you do
It just
this.
becomes very,
makes-
very
it makes-
fat.
Yeah, it makes the liver
And-
really fat.
yeah.
And
Here you go,
make
right
It sounds
there.
like it sounds like veal almost.
By
You don't let
French
them move.
law, foie
this is
gras
so
is defined
fucked.
as the liver of a duck or goose fattened by force feeding corn with a feeding tube, a process known as gavage. In Spain and other countries, well, that goes on.
Ducks are force fed twice a day for 12.5 days and geese 3 times a day for around 17 days. Ducks are typically slaughtered at 100 days and geese at 112. Kev, can you please take this Wikipedia and put it in front of us?
I want to know what
I
confit
guess those
is.
ducks
Can you
died
con-
It just
together.
did. It
Like,
just
look
did.
at
It was the
Does
legs.
that have to be duck or can that
And the
can
render
confit
fat.
be anything?
See, my thing is when you see that little dude, I
Yeah.
don't like it. It makes it too real.
I just don't like the taste of foie gras. I've tried it multiple times.
I couldn't do it.
I
They're
just
all
can't
getting
get
down
into
on
it.
But to be fair,
Wait, was it foie
I was
gras last
totally
night or
wrong.
confit?
I don't know, but I thought it was the thing that I thought was
The torture.
torture to throw up.
Yeah, okay.
So
Did it
I
look
was
like
Did it look like that?
It did look like
That
that.
That's what.
foie
That
gras.
was
It looked
foie
like
gras.
that. Oh God,
Did you try it?
I've had it before with you guys.
When?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But
Oh
it's-
wait, me and Jen, or you guys, me and
No, I
Nick?
think we had
you guys.
Alexander's.
At Alexander's?
Oh, man.
Yeah, see, confit is just a way of cooking something.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
feet.
That's just rendering it in fat.
I don't.
Confit.
I don't think it has to be.
Fat, yeah.
I don't think it has to be duck though. I think it could be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very good.
because for a while foie gras was banned in San Francisco. Now it's back.
Yeah, they let
okay.
it back
It
in.
was-
It's
because
very
it-
inhumane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Gia,
The problem is it's delicious.
Gia and them got trout, like a fancy trout. And
Okay.
I'm like, that
Ew,
seems
it's a
weird.
waste.
It seems well. There was only 4 options for entrees. There was chicken, steak, trout, and duck.
Oh shit! Should have come duck.
And all of them weren't explained those ways, except for the trout. They kept trout in the name.
You can't say trout without trout. There's no way of like saying trout without trout.
River
right?
fish.
Pescado.
White river fish. Fun story about foie gras. You know, it's also called pate. Pate.
Well,
I used to
no,
work-
because that's different.
That's true, that
the
is different.
pates cannot be the force fed.
Exactly.
We've done
And
this
so
to the duck.
This is my point.
It's just liver.
I worked at a restaurant called Bertolini's when I was
Bertolini!
living in Irvine. I was in college, right? And the
Back where
head
you
chef
lived
there,
in New York?
Yeah, exactly. Except it was in Irvine, California. I just established it.
I always thought
Maybe
you lived in New
wish
York.
for a better hearing next time. And
don't fuck with me.
the lead cook, great guy named Dave, was like, "Hey, tonight we're serving like lamb yaps. We're like not a lamb yap, like a little something to begin the table service with." And he was like, "And I made a salmon pate." Now I was like, "I've never had salmon pate before." And he's like, "Look, you can all try it, so you can recommend it to your tables or not." And I liked it so much that I kept sneaking back into the walk-in freezer.
Yeah.
To just put like dip bread in it because I was like kind of hungry back then.
Yeah.
So I would scoop it out
Sure.
onto a plate and then dip bread into it. And then it got to the point where he was like, "Hey, I know what you're doing. that's really expensive stuff. Please stop eating all the salmon pate. And I didn't stop.
Hold on. I'm a little lost here.
He made a giant bowl of this stuff.
Yeah, but what is this stuff? Is this the force-fed liver thing?
No, this is different. This is just pate.
Because I was like, are you force-feeding salmon?
No. Salmon doesn't get force-fed. This is just like smoked, like a smoked salmon that gets like purified into like a
confit
spread.
equivalent.
No, not confit. This is a totally different thing.
Okay.
This is the pate.
We're talking about pate, which is very similar to foie gras. And confit is all over there doing something.
Foie gras is a type of pate, but not pate is not
So
a type
a
of
square is a rectangle, but a rectangle isn't a square.
Just give me a burger. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Give me some chicken tendies.
Then we saw people with burgers, but they weren't on the menu.
Secret
it might have been
menu.
on the bar menu. So this is a fun fact. Like my wife and I used to go to this restaurant called Spruce all the time, which is up in Laurel Village. But we wouldn't go.
Oh yeah.
We wouldn't go sit because it was hard to get a reservation. What we do is go into the bar and we get the burger. You guys are like the least mature people I've ever met in my entire life. Hey, Spruce, it sounds like Bruce. He's the boss, man. We're coming to America. That's Neil Diamond. I couldn't think of one Bruce Springsteen song.
It's the other USA
Keep
one.
on rocking in the free world.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking. What was the one that the girl from Friends was in the video?
I'll be there for you.
That's not okay.
When the rain starts to
fall.
chicka.
I don't like when we have Andy here. He brings a level of silliness that I feel like our genie and our
fucking love it.
fancy food conversation we can't handle.
Here's the thing. I've been married for a while. I haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Last night, the relationship was tested, Tim. And I think you'll come down on my side of the argument. Where Geneviève Saint-Onge-Miller looked at her Facebook thing and saw one of her friends going to Crudo. And
Bar Crudo.
Geneviève Saint-Onge says, we should give Crudo another chance. To which I said, not a chance in fucking hell. Remember Crudo? It's where we went. We paid like $135 a
that
piece.
place.
And then we went out. We were still hungry. We ate all the
place
frozen
sucked.
pizza.
Go fuck yourself, Crudo. Don't
Crudo,
fuck with me.
terrible.
Crudo was bad.
And here's my thing: is I like the fancy, and I'm using it in quotes, fancy San Francisco meal. That's really just hipstery, like Nopalito, right? Or Nopalito and Nopa, not fancy. Like I'm gonna put on a three-piece
pretty
tux
fancy,
or whatever,
though.
right? But it's not.
But it's a higher end restaurant.
It's a high-end hipstery restaurant. We talk about how great that pork chop is, how good that steak is. We're not taking away from any of that things. That's fine. I pay more. I get a great meal. This Bar Crudo place, I paid way more than anything, and I ate a little bit, and this was not good.
It was not.
It was fine. I was upset. I was
No,
very angry.
it wasn't fine. It was very upsetting to everyone involved, except for Gia. But
Well, that's because she's a little bird. She eats like
tiny
two
little
things.
bird.
Eats one thing
She's
of
a
corn
tiny
and
little
it's
bird.
like
Yeah,
I'm so
she
full.
doesn't understand what's
One
going
little
on.
corn.
One little peck of corn. My thing with I've never really liked going out to that level of restaurant because I have a specific way I eat that you guys all know about and make fun of me about more often than not. But I don't like that I can't. Like I understand what it's there for, and if that's your thing, I'm not trying to take that away from you. Like a lot of people like to go out and experience new foods and experience new ways of preparing food, things like that. That gives me anxiety. I don't like it. I don't like different combinations of food on the same plate. Like I don't like the sample menu, or the tasting menu, where you go and you get like the appetizer and then a small portion and then an entree and then a dessert, because I feel like it's just too many different kinds of food, too much sugar, too much shit, too much fat that I can't deal with. And I don't like feeling like I'm living excessively when it comes to food. Now, granted, it's always been a thing for me. It's one of the hangups that I have. But I don't like when I go into a restaurant, I'm like, I just want a piece of protein and some vegetables, and it's not easily gotten without spending $70 on modifying food and doing this and doing that. You know. Although more often than not, a good restaurant, I feel like, I'm only protein right now. They'll be like, no problem, I got you.
We got it, especially in San
We'll take care of
Francisco.
you.
But no,
Yeah.
I think fancy restaurants, I think of extremely fancy. You said adult lives, so that knocks out when you're a kid and you go to Kai's restaurant on North Avenue in Glen Ellen. You know what I mean? That's a fancy place when you're a kid. Not so much when you're an adult.
Did they
Anyways.
rename that the Olive Garden?
No, they did expand North Avenue, though, and really eat into Kai's property. I don't know how much they got from the city or
unfortunate
state,
for
but they
Kai.
probably got a lot there. But when I was in Japan that one Thanksgiving with Scott Lowe, Cindy, Panda Musk, all them, Panda, of course, is a huge foodie, crazy foodie, and he got us all reservations at this Michelin star restaurant where it is like the chefs, they do the whole, they walk in and put it down and explain the entire thing to you. And of course, you get 15 plates per person, and they're all super tiny things. And I feel bad because it was great and we enjoyed it, and it was the experience. We're in this great place, But all I remember is the olive oil ice cream at the end. Like that's the thing I remember. Whereas like when we went down this one random street and found this awesome ramen place, I remember that ramen, and I can tell you about the Foie ramen we eat, and like you know what I mean, like there's so many different foods I eat that I think have a lasting impact. That fucking Nopa pork chop is like fucking ooh, you remember that pork chop. Whereas this place, this whole experience was cool, but it wasn't. None of the food stood out.
Yeah.
Same thing with Joe Beef up in Montreal, which is that restaurant. Stick with me. This is gonna be a stretch, but this isn't a Greg Miller aside. The Joe Beef restaurant in Montreal is next to Liverpool House, owned by the same owners. Liverpool House is the one where Obama and Trudeau just ate at last night. If you've seen,
Oh
the
yeah, I
photo
did
of
see
them
the photo of
floating
that.
around.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
of course. Anyways, that one was start to finish this amazing experience when Jen and I went there, and we had oysters and we had all this great food. We had the great foie gras. We had all this amazing fucking lobster spaghetti. And like I remember those dishes with such clarity, whereas like the other place and the experience and how great our waitress was, and she explaining all these different wines she brought out and stuff like that. That is a fancy meal in quotes, because it's not fancy again. Like Joe Beef's like rustic Quebecois, you know what I mean? But it was like it's like got nice lighting and stuff like that.
Did you guys? So Michelin, you brought that up,
Yeah.
right? The Michelin stars or
Yeah.
whatever. Did you guys know that's the same Michelin as the tires?
Yeah,
I actually did not know that.
it's because they're travel guide.
So my neighbors
that.
they're both in the food industry, and they work at some nicer restaurants in SF, and like they were talking about like one of their goals is to become somebody that gets to decide the Michelin star thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like they're working towards that, whatever. I'm like, cool,
power,
that's
baby.
fucking awesome. And then I made some stupid joke about the Michelin Man, and she's like, no, like you know that is that, right? I'm like, what the fuck? And like, yeah, apparently that got bigger than the tire stuff. And
Yeah.
they've just kind of been doubling down into that.
It's crazy.
Good for them, you know.
Where in this city can I get a shrimp linguine plate?
Here's my problem with this city,
Pasta
Right.
Pomodoro.
which is where you would think that San Francisco, of course, known for North Beach, has good Italian food. I have yet to have stellar Italian food in this city. And it breaks my heart because a lot of times people will come in and ask for that. My brother loves Italian food. He's like, let's get Italian food. I'm like, I don't have an option for you, but I'm sorry. Because there's no, like, if you go to North Beach, more often than not, all those places are tourist traps.
Yeah.
They're quasi okay. You're going to get shit service. You're going to get okay food. You're not going to get, like, you're just not getting what I feel is either an authentic Italian or a San Francisco spin Italian.
There's a
that's
place
very
called
good.
Borga that is not North Beach, but it's close-ish. So it's
Okay.
like off the beaten path. And it is just authentic. Like just it's a fucking family that
Sure.
makes this shit happen. And it's pretty damn good. I don't know if they got the shrimp.
I'm not
linguine.
even looking for like the best top of the top shrimp linguine. I'm just looking for it at all. Like
A shrimp linguine. Well, usually there's a lot of
the
clam
butter and the
linguine.
lemon and the
You
garlic.
get a lot of clam, like linguine con vongole, which is like that
Say it again.
vongole.
Yeah, sounds good.
But you get that with like, you get the white clam sauce or red clam sauce, things like that. But a shrimp, I feel like you just go and get linguine with Alfredo sauce and add shrimp to it. There's a great restaurant called the Olive Garden that we could go to down the street from here.
Every November to January is unlimited pasta, and they do have linguine, and they do have shrimp as an option.
Although I will also give a shout out to Spaghetti Factory because they got that Mazithra.
They don't
And
got
we
no
eat
Spaghetti
that.
What the fuck is
here.
Mazithra? That sounds from
the spaghetti
Elder Scrolls.
So I
Or
used to have
something.
friends that. So this is the other thing. The other thing too that I have is I have a hang up about food service because I worked in food service for so long that I think it just traumatized me, and I never want to go back to it. Like the other day when you guys were talking about wings, I had this like weird range of anxiety where I'm like, I don't want to deal with that ever. I never want
if
to
we
deal
were
with
to
that.
buy wings?
Yeah. But yeah, I used to have friends that worked at Spaghetti Factory, and so they would like. I actually dated a girl who was a host there, and so she would bring me home this Mazithra is like they put spaghetti with like butter, like a brown butter, and this like really salty. I think it's a Greek cheese. It's kind of like a really really salty Parmesan cheese, but that would be it. It would just be butter, that cheese, and you'd mix it up together, and it would dry your mouth out. But it's like the best thing you'll ever eat. It's ridiculous. And it was at the Spaghetti Factory, the old Spaghetti Factory.
The old Spaghetti
Crazy
Factory.
totally.
Garlic bread.
What's that?
Just craving that garlic bread with the lemony, garlicky, buttery shrimp.
I'll make that for you.
and Fucking.
I'll make you this if you want. We'll go over to Greg's house and make Italian food. I'll make you all really good Italian food.
I would love that.
That's
I would
That sounds
fucking love
fucking
that.
I just want to see
Radical.
Toro
1000%.
pizza.
I'll throw some fucking
I'll
pizza,
throw a
dog.
fucking pizza.
We just got to figure out. I'll go buy the dough from Luca. I can probably get some pasta from there too. We can make pasta. I'll make you
Full-blown
fettuccine
Italian thing
Alfredo
happening up there?
with shrimp if that's what you want. Well, it's gonna be a little garlicky because I like a lot of garlic.
I
I'll
love
make that
garlicky,
Alfredo
buttery,
sauce for you.
lemony. Fuck.
Or do you want like my mom used to make something which she called aioli, but in the restaurants I think they call it like I forget how they actually phrase it, what the actual real term is. All it is like butter, garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper, like garlic and garlic salt, and over pasta. So that's all it is. It actually seems heavier than it is, but it's pretty light. But man, you eat that, it's like, it's like actually like a warm pasta salad. It's so good.
It took me forever to find it because I couldn't remember the name. It's really confusing. Piacere.
Piace.
Oh, no, it's not piace. That's
Piacere.
Yep.
Piacere.
Ristorante.
That's I'm not extensively versed in Italian food by any means. That's the best Italian food I've ever had.
Okay.
So and it's here in San Francisco. They make these little.
Try
They
that
have
out.
appetizer pizzas they make there. They're amazing.
that's fun.
But I don't know if they got shrimp.
I went to Luisa's
Luisa.
near
That's what we could do.
Knob Hill, I believe.
Individual pizzas.
I don't know if it's the right area.
Well,
But this lady was like
Everyone
the
gets to pick
homie.
what their toppings are. I can throw those out.
100%.
So we went to this place and it's like not super expensive, but it was like, I wasn't dressed super well for being there. And because we just walked in or whatever, and I didn't see anything I wanted. I didn't want the pizza. I didn't want like the ravioli or whatever. I was like, I'm just gonna go basic. I'm just gonna get some spaghetti. I haven't had spaghetti in fucking years, And then so Louisa, the fucking cook, the lady who owns this place.
I said Lisa came out. I was like, Lisa came out?
So Louisa walks out and she's like, "What? Why don't you don't want to challenge me? Like this is very easy." Like and she was like talking. She was like all cocky about her cooking skills. It was awesome. She's like,
That's amazing.
She was like, "This was all easy. You didn't like you couldn't challenge me. Like you couldn't make it harder for me." I was like, "Oh, sorry." And then she was like, what did she say? She was like, what are you? Like asking me like my nationality. I was like, "Oh, I'm Mexican American." She was like, thank you. She was like, your people are what keep me in business. I was like, I'm not sure what that means.
Like, it's weird because I have an Italian friend, Nick, that eats a lot of Mexican food. So I don't know if that's quid pro quo.
Exactly.
Or
It's all payback.
It was
That's
very
going on.
weird. I don't know.
Where was this at? What area?
Kind of near like Ubisoft and.
Oh, so Soma area.
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
so. Yeah,
Yeah, that
not
makes
Knob
sense.
Hill. I don't know what I was saying. I don't know what I was saying.
Those are kind of fun.
Yeah. Sorry.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindoffunny. Check out all the new stuff we've posted there. Give us a few bucks. And you can watch the show live as we record it. You can watch it early. You can watch Nick just go, when I make
Watch
that
me
video.
peck dance? I'll peck dance for you over on the Patreon.
If you got no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. You can wait for it to go up on youtube.com/kindoffunny as it does the following Monday through Thursday before we post the one big video the following Friday. It's an MP3 too, but you
There's
know how it
something about it from the side that makes it creepy.
It looks like it's pumping out of his
God,
chest.
yeah.
Like it's like
Chest
a
burster.
yeah.
Oh my God. I don't like it.
I don't
Nick.
like it
I'm
at
fucking
all.
really liking it. Really
Nick.
liking it.
Greg, when I think about you, my heart beats out of my chest.
Oh, Jesus.
He's doing it like a heartwood.
Oh, he's doing the heartbeat.
Yeah, oh man. Whoa,
Interesting.
whoa.
I'm sorry.
Until next time.
Got nasty.
It's been our pleasure to serve you.
There it is.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching. Click up here to subscribe to the channel. Click down here to watch other videos on the channel. Click over here to use the Patreon. And then click over here to go to Kind of Funny Games. Why did I have 2 if I only used 1? The world will never know. Hardy Boys.